And we're live from Albany, Georgia. And it's time for another edition of the Midnight Blitz Scoreboard Show. It's Saturday, October 3rd, 2020. I'm Walter Johnson. And the Midnight Blitz Scoreboard Show is on the Southwest Georgia Network at southwestgeorgianetwork.com. Also on Twitter at SWGA Network. And it was a great week 5. And lots of games played for this first week of October, the week of Friday, October 2nd of 2020 or 2020. So not much time to waste. So let's get started. And week 5 of this season also included the start of the season for the 3 high schools in the Dougherty County school system in the form of the Dougherty Trojans, Monroe Tornadoes, and Westover Patriots. And also a close game over in Waycross between the Ware County Gators and the Bainbridge Bearcats that went back and forth. And lastly, and a lot of other games of interest around the Southwest Georgia Network coverage area. So it's time to get started. And we'll start in Dothan, Alabama, where the Colquitt County Packers are now at 3-0 on the season after crushing Dothan, Alabama. The Dothan Wolves. Final score: Colquitt County 63, Dothan, Alabama 27. Big win for head coach Justin Rogers and the Colquitt County Packers, who are now 3-0 on the season. And despite the fact that their first 2 games have been canceled due to COVID-19, and Colquitt County is now sitting at 3-0 on the season and doing very well, and proving once again that they belong among the elite teams in Class 7A. And you got the next up in the so-called COVID-19 Bowl in Ocilla, Georgia, between the Tift County Blue Devils and defending Class Single A public school state champion Irwin County. And Irwin County once trailed 21-20, but came on strong in the second half and then rallied to win 35-20. And I called the Irwin County Tift County game the COVID-19 Bowl because both of their head coaches, Casey Soliday at Irwin County and Ashley Enders at Tift County, both tested positive for coronavirus, and they both had stints in the hospital, and both eventually covered at home. And now both coaches are back, and it looks like Irwin County's roaring back after a slow start at 0-2, losing to Fitzgerald, then to Cook, and then got back-to-back wins over Wilkinson County and now Tift County. Final score once again: Irwin County 35, Tift County 20. So Irwin County goes to 2-2 on the season with a win, while the Tift County Blue Devils fall to 0-2 on the season. And it was Tift County's first game since September 4th, when he lost 7-0 at Crisp County. And it seemed like ages and ages ago. And moving right along, and the Lee County Trojans bounced back nicely from their loss to Lowndes down in Valdosta last week, 38-13. And this week, the Trojans from Leesburg made short work of the Lithia Springs Lions out of Lithia Springs, Georgia, located just west of Atlanta in Douglas County. And the final score for that game, Lee County 62, Lithia Springs 6, Lee County goes to 3-1 on the season with that win over Lithia Springs. And next up for Lee County, another tough opponent this time. Lee will face the Warner Robins Demons. The Demons are rolled all over Houston County. 44-10 the final score, and Warner Robins been to the finals in Class 5A the last 3 years, only to lose each time. Will the fourth time be the charm? That remains to be seen. And Warner Robins might very well be undefeated. And say after the Georgia High School Association meets in its regular meeting up in Thomaston, Georgia on Tuesday afternoon. And the reason for that reason, or at least at that meeting, they'll discuss the eligibility of Jake Garcia, who earlier this week was ruled ineligible because both of his parents didn't make the move from his home state of California to Georgia in order to be eligible. And see, like in California, and there's a rule that the parents had to legally separate in order for Jake Garcia to move out, play high school football out of state here in Georgia. But and then there's a story or article that ran on ESPN, and apparently questioned Garcia's eligibility to play. And GHSA investigated and ruled Garcia ineligible. And there's a unknown rule in the GHSA that the player must move the entire parental unit. That includes the mother and father. And the thing was, Garcia's mother chose to stay behind in California for her job, while the father moved with Jake to Georgia to play at Valdosta. And but I digress. And once again, Lee County now 3-1 on the season with a 62-6 win over Lithia Springs, and Warner Robins lost to Valdosta 28-25 on the last second field goal. And Garcia participated in that game, and because of that, Valdosta might have to forfeit that win over Warner Robins because Garcia participated in that game and was injured, and Garcia didn't participate in the wins in the game against Bainbridge, a 45-7 victory for the Wildcats, nor did he play against Colquitt County, whom they lost to last week, 24-10, down in Moultrie. So it'll really be interesting to see what happens. So, but again, Warner Robins will be Lee County's next opponent. And once again, Lee County over Lithia Springs, 62-6. And next, the Daugherty County school system finally got at least the 3 teams in Daugherty County finally got their 2020 football season underway. A good place to start there would be down in Blakely, Georgia, where the Early County Bobcats play host to the Westover Patriots. And there was a seesaw battle throughout, and it was tied at 7-7, and Early County took a 14-7 lead, and Westover came back to tie it at 14-all, and Early County took a 21-14 lead, and then Westover scored one more touchdown to pull a winning 1 point at 21-20, and the Patriots tried to tie the game at 21-all and try to play for overtime, or just as many teams that are on the road do. They decided just you know what, and let's go for the win, and let's not take our chances in overtime. Just go for the straight win instead by trying the 2-point conversion. Unfortunately, though, that PAT, that 2-point try apparently failed for Westover, and Early County held on to edge Westover 21-20. And up in Macon, in Middle Georgia, and the Monroe Tornadoes suffered a similar fate against another Class AA team in the Northeast Raiders from Macon. And Northeast competes in GHSA Region 3AA, and that's Middle Georgia, and it's either Region 3 or 4. And so one of those leagues up in the mid-state. In any case, the Tornadoes lose a heartbreaker at Northeast Macon. 14-12 was the final score at Hugh Mill Stadium in Albany. The Daugherty Trojans took on Class Single A Turner County, competing in Region 2 Public, Region 2 Single A Public. And in the end, it was Turner County picking up a 34-21 victory over the Daugherty Trojans and head coach Johnny Gilbert. It's a big win for Daugherty. Tough loss for Daugherty. It's a tough loss for all three school teams within the Daugherty County school system. Daugherty, Monroe, and Westover all losing. And one of the top games in Georgia this week, top games in the state this week, took place in Waycross, Georgia, and between the Ware County Gators and the Bainbridge Bearcats. And Ware County competes in Region 1-5A, while the Bearcats from Bainbridge dropped down to Class 4A from Class 5A during the off season. Very tight game throughout. And Ware County had a 14-9 lead at the half. And Bainbridge scored 16 unanswered points to take a 23-14 lead. And then Ware County came roaring back, responding with 21 unanswered points of their own to take a 35-23 lead. And Bainbridge scored a touchdown late to pull the win in 35-30, but couldn't get over the hump. And the Bearcats fall 35-30 to the Ware County Gators in Waycross, Georgia. And a very tough loss for the Bearcats, who are now 1-3. And the Bearcats have next week off before opening GHSA Region 1-4A play at home against the Cairo Surmakers. And Cairo was to play at Dothan, Alabama the previous week, but because of a positive test for COVID-19, and that game was canceled, and they're going to try to play at Pelham this week, but Pelham has had similar issues with the coronavirus, and they're going to try to play that game in Pelham next week. And then Region 1-4A, struggles in non-region play continued. All four teams, Bainbridge as well as Daugherty, Monroe, and Westover, all in Albany, were in action this week, the week of Friday, October 2nd, and all four teams come up empty. And really the most important thing for Daugherty, Monroe, and Westover, at least, they're able to get a game under their belt after having to set out the entire first month of the regular season due to COVID-19. And, it's good to just get that, get some game action in for all those teams. And Daugherty, Monroe, and Westover, just like Bainbridge, will all be off next week. And then it's straight into region play. I already mentioned, Monroe will host Northeast Macon. Monroe will be off next will play host to Thomas County Central to open Region 1 4A play next week. And then the week after, not this week, next week, but the week after, Thursday, October 15th at Humil Stadium. And then it'll be Darty and Westover at Humil Stadium Friday, October 16th. And then Cairo goes to Bainbridge. And like I said, and Region 1 4A has struggled tremendously in non-region play. Region 1 4A has struggled tremendously in non-region play, and they were 2-8 going into this week's action, and they're now 2-12 within the region. And once region play starts in less than 2 weeks, on the week of Friday, October 16th, it'll be interesting to see how those teams fare against each other. And thank for Darty, Monroe, Westover, and just getting the opportunity to play is just a victory in and of itself. And now, I mean, try to spend next week trying to correct those mistakes that cost them this week, and they'll try to get ready, and then you just have to, go straight into region play, and some other action from this week in Region 2 AAA action, and the American Sumter Panthers opened GHSA Region 2 AAA play against the Central Chargers from Macon. And America Sumter is still looking for win number 1 on this 2020 season. America Sumter wins 22-11 over Central Macon. And also down in Adel, Georgia, Cook crushed Randolph Clay 42-14. Randolph Clay falls to 0-3, and Cook gets its second win of the year. And the Hornets already knocked off defending Class Single A Public School state champion Irwin County. And also, and they add Randolph Clay to their win total. And Cooks also lost games at Ware County as well as the Brooks County. And Cooks obviously played one of the most challenging schedules in the state so far. And speaking of challenging schedules, the Thomasville Bulldogs lost their second straight game after winning back-to-back games over Thomas County Central and Cairo. Last week they fell at Bainbridge 21-7, and this week the number 3 ranked team and the 3rd ranked team in all of Class AAA in Coney County came all the way down from northeast Georgia down to southwest Georgia and cruised to an easy 44-14 win over the Bulldogs, who are now 2-3. And Colquitt County's won Colquitt County meant Thomasville, I should say, was the only team in the Southwest Georgia Network coverage area to play at least 5 games through 5 full weeks of the regular season. And that doesn't count teams that had bye weeks or had games canceled due to COVID-19. And moving right along to the other scores from this week, Toombs County rolled to an easy 49-0 win over Berrien up in Lyons, Georgia. And really not much of a game up there in Lyons. And the Bulldogs won easily over Berrien. And Berrien's only win so far came against another team in southeast Georgia in Long County. And that was back on September 4th. And in Albany, at Webb Memorial Stadium. The Deerfield Windsor Knights fell to 2-5 on the season. I made that 2-3 on the season, losing to Savannah Christian 48-7. Deerfield Windsor falls to 2-3. So I think Deerfield Windsor, as well as Thomasville, are among the very few teams from our area that have played at least 5 games so far over 5 full weeks of this regular season. And Deerfield's also been one of the lucky few teams that hasn't had a COVID-19 case as of yet, or which caused them to even miss practice, let alone games. So Deerfield Windsor is very fortunate, been very fortunate that department. However, the Knights do lose 48-7 to Savannah Christian. And in Quitman, Georgia, Brooks County wins the shootout over the Mitchell County Eagles, and Brooks County remains undefeated at 4-0. And Brooks County is already knocked off the likes of Cairo and Thomasville. And seeing they add Mitchell County to that list. And also escaped with the win over Cook last week. So Brooks County already is knocked off Class 4A Cairo. You see, they actually beat Thomasville to begin the season, Class AA, and then knocked off Class 4A Cairo. And then after a bye week, they escaped with a win over Class AA Cook, and the Trojans from Quitman, Georgia, coached by head coach Maurice Freeman, can add the Mitchell County Eagles to the list 63-34. And the Eagles have just had a rough go of it in 2020, falling to 0-3 on the year, and they blew leads against arch rival Pelham, as well as against Worth County. And it'll be interesting to see how head coach Deshaun Brock and his Chargers continue to push through, moving forward, as it were. And again, Brooks County, a 63-34 winner over Mitchell County. And elsewhere, got Patola Charter after an 0-4 start, getting their first win under their belt as the Panthers defeated Fullington up in Pinehurst, Georgia, northern Dooley County. It's just right in between the county seat of Vienna and Pinehurst. Final score, Patola Charter 32, Fullington 7. And in GISA action, the Brookwood Warriors from Thomasville and overcame a 9-6 deficit, scored 28 unanswered points, en route to a 34-9 win over Briarwood Academy. Briarwood Academy is located in Warrenton, Georgia, about 45 minutes, close to an hour west of Augusta, in the eastern part of the state. And Brookwood picks up a big win, 34-9 over Briarwood. And then the only GHSA versus GISA matchup this week, the Tift Area Panthers, thanks to the leg and foot of Jake Saylor, and defeated Charlton County out of Region 2 Single A Public 24-21. Jake Saylor, Jake is spelled Jayk, Saylor spelled Sailer. And how many people would like to have a name like that? Again, final score, Tift Area 24, Charlton County 21. And also, Terrell County was a 41-0 winner over Crawford County. And the Green Waves out of Region 1 Single A Public got their first win of the season. And Crawford County earlier in the season also got crushed by Lee County, 66-0. And And that was a battle between two GHSA teams. And rounding things out and continuing these are all GISA scores as they fall to Westfield up in Perry, Georgia. In the mid-state final score, Westfield 24, Southland 21. Also, Southwest Georgia Academy were on the road and won easily over Bethlehem Christian 66-28. And the Terrell Academy Eagles made the long trip from Dawson up into Woodstock, Georgia, and outlasted Kings Academy 28-21. And finally, in the 8-man division of the GISA, yes, there is 8-man football in Georgia. The Crisp Academy Wildcats from Cordele lost a heartbreaker to Monsignor Donovan Catholic out of Athens 28-22. And the Westwood Wildcats from Camilla won easily over Westminster of Augusta 45-6. And on that note, that's going to conclude this edition of the Midnight Blitz Scoreboard Show for the week ending October 3rd, 2020. So as a quick at southwestgeorgianetwork.com. Also follow on Twitter at SWJ Network. And again, you can visit the Southwest Georgia Network website at southwestgeorgianetwork.com, where you can find all the final scores of all the games that were mentioned for this week. And also follow on Twitter at SWJ Network for up-to-date scores on game night and then other news and sports coverage and throughout the week. And also including the Southwest Georgia Network news podcast. And might do a live stream all next week. And who knows, but again, I digress. That's going to do it for this week's edition of the Midnight Blitz Scoreboard Show here on the Southwest Georgia Network. This is Walter Johnson saying thank you for watching and or listening. And I hope to talk to you again soon. Have a good weekend. Stay safe out there. God bless you.